prepped. We rely on 8D batteries throughout the whole plant, standard. Upgrade would be going to the lithium 600 amp hour battery and the Li3 system. Battery's been just absolutely wonderful for us, giving more power than any other gas, non-lithium battery system out there.
Yeah.
So, now we got phase 2. Notice something right there. We spend about $125 each wheel well on hushback. Your current unit doesn't have anything on there. Nobody's has anything on there except Midwest. Midwest takes carpet, flips it over, then puts another layer of carpet on top, and they sew carpeted wheel covers.
Okay, so you have one-piece valve extenders.
Yep.
Which is nice.
Yep. Those are aftermarket rims.
Aftermarket rims.
Yep. We've had very good success with those. Up front here, we have gone to the Sync 3. A year and a half ago, we did the Kenwood, and it just wasn't as good as the Sync 3. The Sync 3 is what I have in my truck. It's amazing. All OEM, makes it very simple. And then again, OEM windows. Now you're showing them, Gardner, the cozy wrap with the reflective barrier embedded. Now you see the hush mat on the wheel wells, the 5/8 inch one-piece OSB instead of tongue and groove plywood.
And the entire floor here is covered with linoleum.
Yep, front to back, left to right. So now we come to our plumbing department. And if the guys were here, this van would be up in the air, and you'd see guys plumbing up, and one guy would be in there up, plumbing down. And you asked about insulation, so you can start seeing some of our
rock wool
going in. Right there is a thermal barrier for behind the shower wall. Okay. We're always going to be fighting these OEM windows and dark tinted windows, but we want to make sure, when we first started building, we had a couple instances where there wasn't adequate insulation behind the bath wall and the bathrooms were getting pretty warm, so we listened. And again, we put that reflective barrier as a blackout. The bathroom will start about halfway in front of that window and continue forward. So there you can see the rock wall going in. We have another layer behind the rock wall. We've got another layer of the felt and the radiant barrier, and then we've got the rock wall. And again, you can see us putting rock wall up in the overhead, which a lot of people never pay attention to. And then you'll see this starting to come along a little bit more.
And there's the freshwater tank.
Yep.
Because this is not the lithium package.
Yep, correct. Freshwater. Freshwater tanks always go outside with lithium. The battery is the biggest investment in that purchase. It's the way to control the battery's temperature inside through your coach temperature. Bike rack.
Bike rack.
Need one of those.
Black tank will go underneath the shower. I mean, every little place we put rock wool. I mean, we don't miss a beat.
Right, that little...
Yep, that most people have just went right over that.
Right.
All PEX lines, all PEX tubing.
Nice.
You got your Truma going in.
Okay.
Love the Truma. I was going to get rid of the Truma when I first started because I didn't understand it. Now I understand it a lot more. It's the feedback that we're getting on the efficiency and how it sips LP. I've actually got a couple people that were anti-LP that we sold a Galleria to that told me after they used it, don't ever change to anything else. I'm back on LP. I wish I had one of these instead of a Suburban.
Right.
The Truma. You guys got a Truma?
We do. We have a Truma.
So a couple things I love about the Truma. Extremely efficient. And if I'm a little sleepy in the morning or at night, and I put my arm on a heat duct, the heat vent of a Suburban or a Dometic or anybody else, it's going to say Suburban backwards.
Right.
Because that heat vent is so hot, that's telling me that's a heck of a lot of wasted energy. That Truma is just a moist, drier vent type heat. Not a lot of missed energy there.
It works quick, but one thing I think I like that you're going to do is that recirculating for the water in the bathrooms.
Yeah.
You waste a lot of precious water waiting from. Yeah, the Truma works good, but I guess there's there's cold water in the line. I'm wasting.
So laying up the tank now, putting some padding there. That's the wall vinyl that we use, just being thrifty. Now the The shower, one-piece shower's getting placed.
And there's your vent pipes for the
Yep, vent pipes going up.
to the ceiling out
You
the
can see
roof.
some backers in our mold, our fiberglass mold.
And what's this right here? This is
Relay.
That's just a relay. Okay. So all your plumbing's all
Yep, all nice and tight. Now this next section is not talked about a lot, but it is my favorite thing to talk about.
right.
Simple as this. Okay, so when I first started, I visited a lot of road trek dealers locally, and there's one in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And I would go up there and talk to the tech, and he's one of Road Trek's oldest retail techs.
Right.
And he showed me about in the back of a Road Trek, they always use cloth, and then they put their window in the middle. Well, on a Road Trek in the Midwest, you'd see like an old sweat stain,
Oh, yeah?
and your worst shirt that you'd use to mow the yard, they never go away. Well, those would never go away in the walls of the Road Trek, so he made his own detergent bleach mixture, spray it on there, and it would take the moisture. Okay?
Right.
So, cloth. I'm Italian, I love Italian food, but I don't like smelling like Italy for the rest of the day I'm around other people. We have a great kitchen. We just went on the Beyond, we just went to our high-rise faucet that's in the Galleria,
Right.
our residential 12-inch round sink. We want you cooking inside, but we don't want inside to smell. That's why there's virtually very little cloth in my units. So what are you getting at, Nick? Most everybody else uses about $6 a yard material. Anything cloth is going to be about the $6 to $10 a yard. This is about $13 a yard. This is marine grade PVC vinyl. That chassis will rot before this material breaks down. This does not absorb moisture, will not absorb odor, will not absorb mold. Mold can never grow on this. We know some of our other brands have ABS inside. Winnebago does a lot of ABS. Each one of these vans can be square or 1.25 inches out of square. Just production techniques. So when Winnebago goes through and scans the whole interior to make an ABS complete fitting kit, if that van's 1/4 inch out of square, what's that? You're gonna get
Yeah.
and that's the biggest complaint I get out of Winnebago era owners. It is so loud. Okay, so when I install this wall, we'll wrap the 3/8 inch padded vinyl around, and then when this meets up to another part, it's got another 3/8 inch buffer. So all of my joints are padded. Nothing's raw edge to raw wooden edge. We could have got away with cutting this straight right here. And just button it into the wall. No, we wrap it.
So it gives you
All
two
thick.
wrapped edges
Yep,
together.
two wrapped edges that aren't going to make a lot of noise. That's going to cut down on sound. Here's our overhead cabinetry and our base cabinetry. We had a Luan shortage. And Luan is basically very inexpensive. This is called decorative Luan. This is high-end residential.
Yeah.
Or you can get Luan, and trailers and towables have a lot of Luan in their coach, their walls. Well, we used to put Luan on the back side of our overheads. Well, we get all the Luan from China. Our vendor calls us and say, hey, we're going to be out of Luan because the boats have really poor quality Luan on them. And we said, okay, cancel all orders. Meanwhile, there's 7 ships full of Luan coming. So we get no Luan in the county. We were using this composite as a sound deadener for the floor, moisture resistant, so we put it on the back of our overheads. And then we kept on using it because we trust it, and then we put it on the bottom of our cabinets. So you'll have felt line cabinets throughout.
Okay, so
Very rigid.
this is Luan though, right?
This is Luan, and then once we do our wiring and put our stereos in, we'll put a shelf here that will be of the same material.
Well, this is good for the back.
Yeah, yeah. We do white, maple. I love the white on the Beyond has been an absolute home run. A lot of our Beyond customers are female buyers, single female buyers, and this is it. This is probably the biggest mistake I avoided making. I was going to get rid of these. These cabinets cost exorbitant amounts of money as far as where I came from.
Right.
From Fifth Wheels. But again, spent about an hour with one of my customers down at Tampa, and he said, whatever you do not get rid of those cabinets. You'll be a fool. And I listened to him, and very aggressive. Very aggressive.
They're shut, yeah.
Notice this is not RV. This is residential. Something else you don't notice. Greasy 80-pound ball bearing drawer guides.
Right.
So I don't even have this. I'm getting my kitchen redone.
Yeah.
And I can't even afford some of this stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, high end,
Yeah.
very residential.
And flip that over for a second. Yeah, this is nice. They're screwed on. They're not stapled.
Yep.
We bought a house we sold, I was like, I hate these cabinets.
Yep.
I was afraid to use them.
Yep. Yep. And very easy. Just very easy. These come from overseas.
So, yeah.
Yep.
And it's full
And then
extension.
the most important drawer,
Big drawer,
is
yeah.
the trash can drawer in the Class B.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
right now I keep the trash in the shower.
Yep.
Can't do that in the Class
Nope,
B.
it drives me crazy.
And they're full extension too.
Full extensions, very high end. We are so pleased with
What's
this.
down here? What do you put down there?
That's going to be the vent for a cold air return vent for the Truma.
Okay.
And then some inserts from the backside.
Okay, so nothing really, no storage under
Correct.
there. Yeah.
Correct.
And here's the cabinet pulls. Now, are you going to? Is this the standard? Or this could be changed out to a non-snagging one?
I'm going to be working on. We'll have new hardware. We're working on
Yeah.
new hardware for September. We have a big show in September.
I like the glass panels because
Glasses work well for us.
yeah, because they're the hinges are nice. That's
very strong.
Yeah, that's one thing we don't like about our hinges is they don't stay up. We have the howls. Or,
Yep. Halife. So
Halife.
Halife's like, you need to use all of our stuff. I'm like, no, I buy the most expensive of domestic made hinges there are.
Yeah.
So these things are very residential.
Yeah, that's
You
nice.
got 1, 2, 3 ways to adjust. Mm-hmm. So
And when
really-
it's up, it stays up.
Oh yeah, and when it goes down, soft
nice.
close.
Now,
So
do
they
you
don't
use
slap.
Handles like this down low.
Or I'm changing these. Eventually
will
they're
catch you,
yeah,
you
they
know
catch. Yep. So here's a white interior, just getting rounded out. You'll have the 2,000 watt Xantrex inverter in this. You'll have Firefly in this. You'll have, I believe, your 6300 Nova Cool. The white has been tremendous.
I saw some speaker boxes. Ken, would you upgrade the speakers?
We do. We put some speakers in the rear, and then the stereo Jensen goes in the rear overhead above
Okay.
the TV.
Okay.
Here's now, we've been looking at a lot of 22D layouts with the 30 gallon on the passenger side.
Right.
Now here's our 22C. It stands for couch. Maple cabinets. There's the high-rise faucet that we just went to. We switched these this year. Independent rear reading lights. One-touch night light, dual-touch reader with USB. USB 110. See the nice makeup of the PVC vinyl.
Is there also a 12-volt cigarette lighter type plug up there too?
Yep.
That's nice.
Yep.
And
when
over there.
There's your 2,000 watt inverter, cup holders, 30 gallon tank again, 30 gallon tank inside, Li3, drop the 30 gallon tank, we have an option to heat it with a heat pad. Over here, very clean, extremely clean. Once we get the running boards on, dresses it up nicely. We've been through a couple generations of the LP door. A lot of our LP doors were passenger or driver side. I didn't like that. I wanted it, passenger side. We wanted it over on driver side. Typically the driver is going to want quick access to his LP. Furthermore, we did a couple things. Drove me nuts. The minute I'd undo this, I'd lose that.
Right.
Okay, so we made a lanyard. The minute I would undo that, that would fall off. So we undid that. Then we joined everything with hinges. The one thing that you will have a little make sure to mention or to remember is when you're going through your bridges, underwater bridges, or the bridges that don't allow ULP, just keep that open, okay? Just always make sure that that's open before you go through.
Yep. The gate like that?
Yeah, because they want to check to make sure that this switch is off, your LP
Gotcha.
switch is off. Here, we went through a couple renditions on this, and I think we figured it out.
Yeah.
We had it we didn't have one. Then we had one, and it was right by the rear hitch. And depending on what state you were in, you had some clearance issues. You know, down in Florida, if you go off the side of the road into a gas station, with the amount of water that they got, they've engineered troughs,
Right.
irrigation. You know, so sometimes when you go in Florida, you can kind of sidestep the angle, but we were getting them crushed left and right. So once we went to the 330 amp single location AGM battery on passenger side, that opened up where we had the second battery, and now we can run the way up in there, nice and clean, robust. I think we got it figured out, and thank you for everybody's patience.
Yeah. Did they redo these drain the pools, or is that?
That's still the same way. We did open up, we provided a huge, or not a huge, but a large scallop for access.
Okay.
Before it was covered.
Right.
Now we've got a scallop for access. We don't paint the cladding. From our Mercedes experience, it is very tough to the way we want to do things, to 100% have 100% proper paint job. So
Right.
we don't paint the Ford. Actually, on the black Sprinter chassis last year, we stopped painting the cladding on the black Sprinter chassis because they were so hard to paint.
Right.
Because you'd get transfer from the Christmas tree clips on the back side of the cladding. So all these are held together by these Christmas tree
Right.
clips. You know what those are. But once you sand this down a little bit, those Christmas tree clip housings
Right.
on the back side of the material would show through, would transfer through. So, you know, we like keeping it pretty simple. You know, we're going to be coming up. I got spray port, plug, satellite, black tank, flush, city, fresh. Eventually, for model change in September, we're going to have a metal box here that'll be color coded. So those are not exposed. So it'll just, you won't even know
Okay.
it has water.
Right.
Nobody's going to say anything about these two. This screams RV to us. So we're going to cut this out and have a nice lockable metal custom made
Okay.
utility box.
Yeah.
See, this stays this
Yep,
color.
yep.
Which makes it just look like it's a transit
Yep,
then,
yeah.
nothing
But
like
also,
a camper.
It gives it a nice little two-tone without being.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a transit,
Yeah.
like that.
So we're coming along a little bit further. Now we got cabinet doors in. That is a Pro Air AC in.
Right. That's the
We just
12
got
volt.
done getting up. We had a mess the last 2 weeks on the Pro Air AC. We tested this and vetted it thoroughly in June of last year, which was not the temperature it is now. Last year was humid and nasty. So we use Firefly and I use Pro Air. We vetted it, ran ACs all last year. I was in Tampa. AC ran all year. I think I saw you guys in Tampa, right?
Right.
I was at the Gainesville show in March, humid and hot in Gainesville. It was at Sunshine State. We got other reps all around the country, California. Talked to my California rep. We were having problems with the Pro Air. He goes, no, it's blow and cool everything. So we had a little problem. We have to take the temperature sensor and put it in the cold air return instead of having it out. So the temp sensor goes inside the cold air return, and we had some logic updates, meaning we had to have Firefly and Pro Air voltage communicate
Right.
more precise. So we had some failures with our AC. Really pleased with what we found out and how to fix it. And today we are sending out the first part of a TSB kit to get that rectified. So, our motto is, yes, we're always going to have problems, but as quick as we found the problem, we better respond to it and get these people back on the road. That's big with us. Very nice quality on the inside. You can see now, there's a little shot of the phase change. This dealer must have picked phase change.
Right.
Not only do we use phase change on the walls, but also some partition areas too.
Right. It offers a sound deadening too?
Nope, phase change is strictly heat.
Just only heat. Okay.
So if I take a piece of phase change the same size as a cinder block, a 3D cinder block, phase change is just a sheet material, not
Right.
3D. Cinder block's 3D. That phase change material, the same, if it's an 8x12 cinder block, 8x12 phase change will absorb the same amount of heat or cold as a cinder block. So basically what we've done is we've found a way to line your Class B outside of the windows with cinder blocks, yet with 1/100th of the weight. When we went to the rock wool, we used to use pink fiberglass insulation.
Yeah.
I knew Knew that wasn't what we wanted to do, but there was no alternatives. Then I reached out to a company called FXI. FXI sells Winnebago, Era, and all their Class B products, their insulation. And basically, I've got a rollover it over there. Basically, FXI, it's called Quilite 2000. And basically, Quilite 2000 is sheet form of the gasket material that they would use to fill in the gaps of their ABS interior shortcomings. It's got an R value of like 0.2.
0.2.
Okay? Rockwool R15 sound deadener, does not absorb moisture, 2,000 degree burn rating. That, when we pulled the pink out and put Rockwool in, Craig, and my electrical engineer, and I tested the chassis. The interior of the coach was 10 degrees warmer in summer, which is correct. We didn't put any air into it.
Right.
We had no delta, right? We just hot. So this was, the Rockwool was 10 degrees warmer than our standard insulation that we were using at the time. The pink spun fiberglass insulation. Then we prototyped another unit, added phase change to it. We picked up 20 more degrees. 20 degree increase in a Class B or anywhere is phenomenal.
Yes.
Your ACs are gonna work less, your refrigerator is gonna work less, your animal's gonna be more comfortable. I'm hot right now and it's not that hot. I will be more comfortable in a properly well thought out insulated coach. So I love our insulation package. It's sound deadening and day-to-day living, and you know, quality is a couple things. Everybody, you know, obviously quality is how you build it. I got 28 guys in here that I can give a truckload of junk parts and pieces, and they are that good that they can make that van look amazing for a month. But then you get it out on the road and you start hearing those parts eventually. Number one is how you build it. Number two are the parts and pieces you put in it.
Right.
Yeah.
I cannot use Xantrex. I trust Xantrex 100%, their service technology. I could not use phase change. I could not use Rockwool. I could use MDF cabinets like Road Trek used to use. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. There's a pretty cool formula. Number one, quality always how you build it. But number two, and I live by this, the parts and the pieces that you put in your build are critical as far as how good they are, the quality, the longevity. Because Class B owners typically don't trade their Class B in every 3 years.
Well, after so long, you can't do it any longer.
Right.
You
Yep.
can't. There's a
There's only
limit.
so much to upgrade.
Yeah, you almost can't afford to do it every.
Yep.
When you find something that you really like, you might make the sacrifice.
Well, we have an experience.
Yeah, so like we went from a Class B road track to the Pleasureway within about a year, and now it's a year later and we're looking at the Beyonds here.
I said most, but
Yeah,
you know,
we're odd.
Towables,
Yeah.
you could pretty much bank on those people being back every 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years,
Mhm.
upgrading
Yeah,
up.
we have-
Right.
Families are getting bigger. Families are growing. You folks downsized first, then upsized a little bit, and now we're
Going back to-
thinking about downsizing.
Yeah.
We get this a lot.
Well, we walked into one of the ones with all the insulation you have, the maxed out
Yep.
insulation, and it was sitting on the lot of National Indoor RV just outside.
In the sun.
It was nice inside. Then we walked into one that didn't have all that, and it was very noticeable, the
Yep.
difference.
Yeah.
I'll always be fighting these windows. We'll always be fighting these windows, and until we can come up with a
Oh, you mean the fact that they're not wide
Yeah.
open
just
or
the
what?
fact that they're black,
Black.
and all the heat just comes
Okay, black
right
windows.
there.
They look good, but
They look
yeah,
beautiful.
I guess they do absorb the
Yep,
heat.
yep.
Yeah.
Now, something that we get on the Ford. Nick, how come you can't have tip-out windows? Have Ford do tip-out windows. Well,
Yeah.
Ford's not an RV maker. They build 600 Transits a day. These are people movers.
They're not gonna change.
So what I like to tell customers, in those cases where you don't want to have your windows open and it's raining, go get you some Ford
Visors.
visors, crack the window 3 inches. Or I just saw on one of our blogs, there's a vent
Right.
that gets made that fits in your window jamb. Put it up and you vent it, no water gets in.
And
Right.
your fans can run.
And your fans can run, and that's the idea. Give yourself that window cover, I don't even know, shield, and crack the door, kick on your ceiling fan,
Run your 12 volt.
run your 12 volt,
And you got plenty of power.
plenty of power.
What's to be able to run the fan on the road truck before we got a cover on it. That was pretty rough. You turn it on, oh, it'd start raining, it would close, it would shut.
And then we're getting ready. This one tomorrow, we'll get the refrigerator put in it.
Here.
Yep.
And I like him. Oh, that's Spike. Spike, you like the new RVs here?
That was a yes.
That was a yes.
Dog, yes.
He always shakes his head. Spike,
Get up in there.
you want to see?
We'll get
Come in the house. There we go.
go.
Oh, yeah.
You like it?
New
Yeah.
tread. We used to have carpet here.
Oh, that's better.
Yep, and now it's got a nice sharp edge, so nobody's gonna slip with winter. It's got some traction. You'll have to blow it out every now and then, but I really wanted some traction. Cheap
Yeah.
grab handle there, the best thing we've ever done. We're working on getting this beefed up a little bit more to make sure we can put a good load on this side.
Right.
Security light, you got off, middle is motion, all the way
nice.
on is always on.
Okay.
Nice little feature.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the little hook there for the stuff behind the,
Yep. Here, good. Thank you for pointing this out. That is the most useful area for storage.
Oh, yeah.
And our customers. We were going to put something there, and I asked a couple CrossFit gals, should I put anything there? She goes, do you want to see what I put there? She's got all of her dresses hung up. She's got her dog. She's got a small little dog. She's got her Yorkie cage right there. I mean, completely
Right.
filled. And it allows gentlemen like Gardner to stretch that seat all the way back if he needs it.
yes,
Yeah,
sometimes
and
you
recline
decide
it.
to
And recline.
stretch it, Put
Yep.
the recline a little bit. Dog food dishes there.
Yep.
thought about making
Fans. We have a box fan in ours.
It slides back there.
Solar panels.
Yep.
A lot of good space there. Here's the beautiful refrigerator.
Now here's the
Oh, I love that.
Nova Cool for the the Beyond.
Right.
Amp drawabouts, it's about 6 amps a day, typically between all 3 sizes. What I really like
Hey, Dave, that's insane.
is now it's flat in the back.
Right.
Before, we had to give up about 3 to 4 inches in the back because of the condenser.
So you would have to put it out into the aisle further?
Well, everything would have to come out a little bit further.
yeah.
So this is compressor driven. Okay? Compressor driven.
Yes. The only way.
Operates at 30-degree incline.
That's nice too.
Yeah.
Yep. So I just had some folks mention the other day that they parked in a national park. The only spot was this. Mm-hmm. And they just had they just filled up their refrigerator, and they thought for sure that it would all be gone after 2 hours. It's running fine.
Yeah, that's one thing I really like about the compressor refrigerator is that you don't have to make sure you're level. Because we spend a lot of time when our refrigerator did work,
Right.
making sure that it was within 2 degrees,
Yep.
front, back, left, or right.
Lot less headaches.
Yeah. Basically, you pull into a parking spot, and if you're comfortable enough to sleep, you're great.
Yep.
Yeah, who wants to put leveling blocks out at Walmart?
Yeah, and I've done that a lot.
Furniture. When I first started, Class B furniture was awful outside of Pleasureway. Airstreams, road treks, I think everybody. Ours. So really focused on coming out with a 100-degree. All the sofas were like this.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then you got your jump seats. So almost all of them had this trough right around here, depending on what size you were. So we yanked out we got rid of our mechanism, redesigned our mechanism, and this is what I'm talking about. Redesigned our foam pack, and came out. I sleep on a bed at night. My wife and I's bed is 180 degrees flat. No gaps. Why should my customers have to sleep in a bed unlike theirs at home? So we really worked hard on this 180-degree lay flat sofa, and it's just been tremendous for us.
That's good. We can't carry a
Topper.
topper.
Yep.
Yep.
We guys not have to carry the topper. We do.
How you doing? Yep. Starting to get
Hello.
hot. Now, here's a good shot. Perfect lead in. Your window covers are always stored in the back.
Oh, Okay.
You got your screen door, and here you see your Li3 battery.
Yeah.
Li3 battery's now inside. We upgrade you when you go to the Li3 system. We go from a 2,000 to a 3,000. For those of you out there that don't think that I credit you for a generator when you go to Li3, I'm the person to ask about that. Please call me and let's have a discussion on this. We got some people out there saying I don't give credit for generators. We provide the best service in the Class B industry. We're not those kind of people. We give you credit for your generator. This battery is the safest, smartest, most intelligent lithium battery out there. It is made of the right chemical makeup, which is iron phosphate. We've got some brands out there, Winnebago specifically, really running and hanging their hat on a nickel cadmium battery that I just hope it works out. Tried and true, the only UL listed battery in lithium battery in the world. Iron phosphate is a naturally, it's not mined through bad protocol. Nickel cadmium is mined through children in overseas, and they're actually hand mining this. We can show you videos. Iron phosphate is naturally occurring, recyclable. 3,000 to 5,000 charges from zero. 3,000 to 5,000 charges from zero. That's estimated for a Class B user to be about 10 years. The U.S. is in early stages of this big lithium blow up in a positive way. In 10 years, you have your coach for 10 years. Let's say you call me up and say, I think I'm getting some degradation to my battery. We use it a lot, Nick. Hey, no problem. Why don't we send your battery back down to Tampa? They'll take the screws out, and they'll refurb it for about $3,500. We think that's about where the prices will be in about 10 years. Extremely smart. Battery communicates to the inverter charger. Everything communicates together for a great readout to know exactly where you're at. Number one thing you got to know is your state of charge at all times. You've got to have batteries that can produce a proper state of charge that aren't lying to you or misrepresenting their charges. Some of the past lithium manufacturers have put maybe they had a 1,200 watt lithium battery system. They'll put 110 watt up front, 110 watt underneath the refrigerator, 110 in the jump seat, 110 here, 110 here, 110 here, 110 here, 110 here. The first battery gets burned up before the first year because it's taking the bulk charge. The last battery never gets taken care of because it's the one on the last. So all of ours come in, all my cells are right here.
Right.
These are like children. They all need discipline, which I call it charging, but they all need discipline different. First cell Sally, second cell Billy, third cell Jeff, fourth cell. Each one needs to be topped up and then gone over to the next kid. It's just like how we disciplined our children or graduated.
It's done automatically.
It's done automatically, and it's not just a bulk charge to slam that cell to full. No, Sally takes a little bit. Let's bring, now we're going to go discipline or congratulate Joey. Bring in Joey. Now go back to Sally, making sure everybody's charged in line. Really, really cool battery. I was just down there, did a video down there, visited the plant, and it's so neat seeing our batteries coming offline with U.S. military components with their batteries coming off that same production line.
And with them all in one spot,
Yep.
There's no issues of balancing them.
That's kind of what I was referring to, the balancing of them. You're very
You
right.
had to actually do it yourself.
Yep, I
Like,
did.
don't ask me to balance my battery.
Yep.
Yeah. And there's the water pump.
Oh yeah. We've had tremendous success. We had a little hiccup. One thing cool about Xantrex, and I'm really black and white about our experiences, because if I'm communicating experiences to you guys, it's a good thing. We want to let you know the things we've experienced. When we first brought in Xantrex, we were pitching it as it talks all the same language. Road Trek could have had an opportunity to have Xantrex, but they decided to go to Kijiji and Bill's Auto Parts and Johnny's Alternator to put all this stuff together.
Yeah.
None of it talked the same language. It all needs to talk the same voltage electrical language. So we have a router in the Galleria that Xantrex ran out of the Belkin routers. They bought some routers off Amazon, sent them to us. We put the router in our system. The router talks to the battery talks to the COM box. The COM box sends its information to the router on the Galleria, and the router sends it to a tablet that controls the, you can see all your functions,
Right.
okay? When we introduced that router that wasn't designed in with the system, hey, my LI3 system just crashed. Hey, my LI3 system just, it was call after call. I go, hey, let's find the VIN number. What did we change at that VIN number? Nothing. Let's call Xantrex. What did they change? All we did was substitute a router.
Wow.
But that router wasn't designed in the system on the onset, right? And they're like, oh. So customers were calling us going, you got it fixed. We hear you got it fixed. So you introduced a router that didn't speak the same language as the way the system was designed, and it failed? I go, everything we told you was right. This caught us off guard, but look, we were able to rebound real quick, and we learned. We are getting tremendous feedback on our customer service. As a young company, the #1 way to beat brand X, Y, and Z is to provide better customer service experience. It's something that we will not compromise on. I've got a team here that are the best in the industry, and we're doing things completely different than everybody else. Some of the horror stories we're hearing about service in the field is just not fair. You guys are a mobile customer. You're a mischievous customer. We like that. That's not a negative thing. You guys want to go places where other people don't go. We got to be on our game and be a little bit smarter, willing to put in a little bit more effort the right way to get you guys fixed and on the road. So we got a great team. Get a lot of compliments on how we handle our service.
And I like, this is the white interior.
Yep. Now that's all furniture grade paint. That's not wrap. That's all furniture grade residential paint.
With the 12-volt air conditioner.
With the 12-volt air conditioner.
Got what we want.
So this unit right here has got the LI3, the 12-volt air conditioner,
Phase change.
phase change.
Don't understand is that the Transit, it was designed as a work truck, and the Mercedes Sprinter is Europe's F-150 or work truck. So their suspension, the suspension is not ideal. So on the Transit, we add a secondary leaf. Okay? Gives us 2 inches of lift, and it improves the ride tremendously. No longer do the bumps go through the through the wheels, the axle, the leaf, the floor, the chassis, through the bench, and into your spine.
You don't bounce off your seat when you're riding in there.
Now.
Well, that pretty much concludes our tour at the factory. And a really big thanks to Nick for taking the time to show us around, and also Greg and everybody else there at Coachmen. And if you got any questions, just drop a comment in the video here. If you like the video, give me a thumbs up. I'd appreciate that. And have a wonderful day. Thanks.